Liberty Falls, the worst zombies bonus map of all time.
I have no words, guys. You'd expect after 4 years of development that you'd get a better game.
Liberty Falls sucks.
Liberty Falls recently has been caught under some tremendous fire from the zombies community.
Saw the actual gameplay itself, and Call of Duty fans are just not happy with this right now.
People are mad, extremely mad at Liberty Falls.
The lead up to Liberty Falls was one of, if not the most negative and hated zombie maps pre-launch ever, but I think I can safely say this map has subverted everyone's expectations. Liberty Falls is a simplistic masterpiece. Everything you could or want in a survival map is right here. So let's dive right into it. Let's start with the map design and layout. Liberty Falls is a small American town set in the 1900s. It has so much charm, whether it's the comic store with its amazing design, bowling alley where you can actually bowl if you do a small side quest, awesome looking church with almost a gothic design, which I am so here for. Unlike in modern Call of Duty zombies, Black Ops 6 does an amazing job at making the map look distinct and unique. However, in the other modern COD zombies games, for example, Vanguard, Cold War, MW3, all of those maps look the exact same. If you go through Cold War, every single one is a military base. If you go through Vanguard, every single one has something to do with military, whether it's set during a war or it actually is a military base. MWC is set during a war. It's all military orientated. All the colors are similar. They're grey, dull, and ugly. Which, don't get me wrong, grey, dull, and ugly can work, for example, in Modern War, like in my Brocked video. It worked extremely well there because it added to the horror of the map. But it hasn't in modern zombies for a very long time because all the buildings are the exact same. Like, think back to Cold War and like Firebase C. It's kind of hard to tell which part of the map you are on sometimes because it just all looks the exact same. But contrastly, on Liberty Falls, it's very easy to tell where you're on the map. If your teammate yells at you, "I'm down at the church," you know exactly where that is. Or, hey, there's a chopper gunner on the ground at the comic store. Or, hey, quickly run over to the nursery. It's very easy to coordinate, and it's great because you know where you are at all times. You're never gonna get lost on Liberty Falls because it's so distinct. And that's something Black Ops 6 is doing really well so far, and I hope they can continue to do well in the DLC. Liberty Falls is a pretty small map, but with an amazing map flow, every single part of the map is something there. Whether it's a perk machine, arsenal machine, workbench, or ammo station, no part of the map feels empty. If the flow wasn't perfect enough, there's a zip line all around the map, so you can go from the church to the center building like that to make this map flow work so well. I also love how the Wonder Fizz machine is in this map, but you can only access it past round 25, therefore making the regular perk machines useful, unlike in Cold War. Liberty Falls reminds me so much of Town from Black Ops 2, both being small American towns hit by zombie outbreaks. Now, I love Town, it's one of my favorite maps of all time, but it can be a bit too simple with just 5 perks, 3 doors to open, absolutely no side quest whatsoever. Town can get very boring very quickly, but I find that Liberty Falls is like Town, in which the setup is just open the doors, you don't need to build, pack a punch, or turn on power, but it adds so much more, unlike Town, to it, with almost an endless amount of fun, small side quests to do. For example, you want the jet gun? There you go build it. Do you want some double points on the low round? Well, there's a side quest for that. Do you want to get a fire sale? Well, there's a side quest for that. Matter of fact, there's actually a side quest for every single power up in the game, and I made a video on that. You should go check it out after this one. You want to go bowling? Here you go. Just shoot these 5 pairs of shoes from around the map, then there you go. Want to be a superhero? Absolutely, can do. The side quests on these maps just flesh out the game so much. Now let's talk about all the new stuff introduced on this map, which I can finally say we have a new perk for once. Malie Macchiato, which, yes, granted is not the best perk ever, is still an exceptionally fun one to use. You basically get boxing gloves, which is just such a cool animation. It's basically the wind punch from Origins. And the perk machine is probably one of, if not the most unique ever. Then we have a new kill streak in which you can turn into a Mangler, which honestly is a bit OP, but I'm sure it'll be nerfed in the coming days. Then we have the Vermin being a new boss type, which is basically Hellhounds, but not quite. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I do enjoy a new zombie type every now and then. The Jet Gun has made its glorious return from its debut in Transit when it was one of the worst wonder weapons ever to being one of the best. It still has the same concepts like the zombies up, but it also has a second ability in which it has a charge shot, almost like the Thunder Gun, and it destroys the zombies. But it does render the gun quite useless for a while, so use this ability sparingly. The main quest for Liberty Falls is quite simple. You just have to fill up these 3 cylinders by doing held up phases, and granted it's not the most fun ever, but it is a small map, so I wasn't expecting any overly complicated Easter eggs like on Origins, for example, and I do enjoy it, but I do think it can be a bit tedious that basically half the Easter egg is building the check gun. But Final Holder is actually extremely hard and keeps you on your toes the entire time. You have to fight this souped up Mangler and this souped up Abomination. Once you beat both of them, you'll be knocked down. You'll get this super cool cutscene, and if you continue playing after the cutscene, you get a guaranteed ray gun and a free ray gun skin. And honestly, I don't know if I like this new ray gun skin more than the old one. It's so good. In Black Ops 6, Gobblegums have returned, and does it affect Liberty Falls in a negative way? Honestly, I don't think so, for a couple of reasons. One, Gobblegums aren't as paid to win as they used to be in Black Ops 3. This could age terribly with the newer seasons bringing out newer Gobblegums and making them super overpowered, only time will tell. For the time being, the Gobblegums are just a nice little advantage, like at anywhere but here, get you out of a tough situation or free double points. I honestly am really enjoying them, and I enjoy how you unlock them, and I'm just glad that we didn't get Liquid Divinium back again. Unfortunately, I do have a few problems with Liberty Falls. It's unfortunately not perfect. The boss spawn rate is ridiculously high at the higher rounds. On round 35 plus, get used to having at least 4 Manglers spawned in on the map at one time. The Abominations also are way too bullet spongy. Even with the ray gun or jet gun, they take way too long to kill, but luckily the Abominations don't spawn in too often, but still, they need a nerf. The Vermin round can be quite boring. They are basically this game's version of dogs, and I can't complain. They did try something new, and I do like their design, but the Vermin rounds are way too easy and just get plain boring at the higher rounds. The ammo stations are also a bit too cheap. To fill up a packed gun's ammo, it's only $5,000, making max ammos a bit pointless, but at least it's more expensive for the ray gun. But other than that, I honestly don't have any other major issues with this map. Honestly, an awesome map with a few small flaws, but nothing that can't be fixed. It's one of, if not the best survival maps we have ever got. Awesome side Easter eggs, an awesome map layout, and much, much more. But what do you guys think? Are you loving Liberty Falls or are you loathing it? Let me know down in the comments below.